Oaks. What's freaking up? Hmm. Let's see. Oh. We definitely have some cleanup to do and some shark leaders to finish off. Mm, yeah, buddy. This is coated cable. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Anywho, hi there. What's up? Thank you for the like. Thank you very much. By the way, Sturgeon, you don't have to take it, but I did just if you're there hurting for Sturgeon, I did decide to finish off another rig that I had like as a show hook before. This would be another a bit of a cheaper and lighter rig, yeah. I might just use mono for this one. But look at it. This hook, it just wants to turn. It's a challenge to not to even keep it from already arriving in the right orientation. This hook, this is nasty. This is a nasty light rig. Because yeah, this way you'd have three of the smaller hooks and John C. Oh, let me fix that. Thanks, John. Thank you very much, John. John Cena. What up, M Picker? Gonna fix the sound. Bluetooth. Oh yeah, I turned Bluetooth off. That's why I didn't connect. That kind of makes sense. Oops. Okay, now I think so. But do fish have wrists? Law. They might or might not. But even on my arm, this is John. This is just a 18.0 hook, the size of a 14.0 BKK. And even on my forearm, it wants to grip. So this is yeah. That's weird. Should be good now. Hmm? How about now? Okay, fixed. Fixed. Okay. Okay, darling. But yeah, I just, you know, you can't tell me this ain't a good rig. Although this hook is a bit, it needs some sharpening. So that is one thing where I won't play around with. I'm not gonna like any leader that leaves my shop has to be inspected for sharpness. You know, Because what what good is a sharp rig if it, or any rig if it's not properly sharpened? You ain't paying me to build leaders with dull hooks, are you? Okay, getting there. And especially the cheaper hooks, they don't always come properly sharp. Thank you. Sharpening a sharp hook on a leader that I made that I will be finishing up, but yeah. There's a hook point here had a burr on it, so I've cleaned that up now, I think. Now just need to make it properly sharp. Yes, I do. These rigs I'm making at the moment will actually be shipped to a guy from Oregon. That's needle sharp. That's proper sharp. Oh yeah, it's already piercing. Whoa! That is ready to be fished. Very nice. Uh, 1 meter 95 centimeter catfish. So that's 6 foot 5 inches. 6 foot 5 inches European catfish. I actually can show you the very bait I caught it on. 1 second. That rod should be in here anyway. It's not the exact same leader. I've upgraded the leader since then, but this is what I caught my biggest catfish on. Voila. You can see some of the marks it has from the rough, from those brush-like teeth. It's a bit mangled, the lure, but, it's been in the mouth of a catfish bigger than me, so. And it's caught more catfish after that, so yeah. This is a swim bait that I actually fish in heavy current, like live bait. Because in heavy current, the current basically moves the lure for me. And I wasn't sure if this was gonna work, but they absolutely do smash these, just like they would a live bait. And that was in a river where I tested everything else, and they will only attack live bait and these things. So yeah, I'm from Germany. I am German, yes. Anywho, sound is dead again. I'm sorry. Okay, I guess I hope it's fixed now. I hope the sound is okay now. Anyway, here are some of the leaders for Hurton for Sturgeon that we've already finished up. Here's another shark rig that is ready to go, ready to be sold. I think they do. If not, it's been replaced by the next generation that is basically the same. Maybe has a better sound or whatever. Okay, Ammon Picker. But yeah. So, oh, this is a this is a recent built yesterday. This still needs a custom bait clip. This is another shark leader. We've already been finished. This hook needs a little bit of sharpening though. Bup, 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 bup. Yeah. Cutting in and out. Okay. The hook is decently sharp, but it could be a bit sharper. I found that instead of using a file, one of these weights that is made out of a very hard, smooth concrete actually works better for getting hooks needle sharp. It doesn't take off nearly as much material. It's like a diamond file would. But I think that's where the magic lies. That just gives, yeah, that's it's getting there. It's getting there. Mm. That should be good enough, honestly. Hi there. Sound is bad. I'm sorry. Alive and kicking. Yeah, I mean, it's also much thicker gauge hook, so yeah. Okay. Is the sound better or worse now? Sorry. That should be a question mark. Anyway, let's make our what's it called? Oh. So yeah, here's another hit. This is one though I'm not planning on sending to Sturgeon unless he says he wants two of the expensive leaders. If you lose it to a shark, do you think they cut it with braided teeth, or would more likely be a bad knot that pulled out? Um, you mean if a shark breaks off and you get your leader back, but the hook is missing? Is that what you mean? Honestly, it's 50-50. It both happens. Both happens. If you know your leader, you'll see it, you know? If I know my leaders are 3 foot in length and I'm only getting back 1 or 2 feet of wire, I know the shark cuts the wire. If all I'm getting everything back, but just the hook is missing, then my idea would be that my connection to the hook failed somehow. You know? Now I trust all of my connections. So if I have my wire, if I get back a piece of wire without the hook, most likely it will be the cable actually getting cut somehow. It is possible shots doing that. It's never impossible, which is why I make special leaders, you know, that are harder to get bitten off on. Yes, it's hard to cut with a serrated knife, so it's always amazing they can do it. Yeah, but this your serrated knife has over 1,000 psi pressure behind it and interlocking teeth. You know, you have shearing forces from the teeth hitting each other, and you have a crap load of force. And then, while that force is being applied, they're putting their entire weight on that line, so it's under high tension. Under high tension, everything is a lot easier to cut than when it's just, not under tension. So there's a lot of things that come into play with sharks biting you off, but it's still pretty crazy that even this 1,500-pound cable can get bitten through in certain cases. Extremely rare, might happen a handful of times in your life if you spend most of your life actively fishing for sharks. It might still only happen a handful of times that heavy cable gets bitten through, but it will happen eventually if you shark fish enough, yes. Yes, it's hard to cut with, yeah, and the line is pulled tight, exactly. It is very tight. That makes it way, way, way easier to cut, but still. And there's only a few sharks that will actually cut you off on cable. I mean, okay, there's more that could do it theoretically, but really, the main culprits to bite you off on cable are bull sharks, tigers, makos, great whites. And the 6-7 gills seem to be able to do it too. Anything else, highly unlikely. It happens, but it's again highly unlikely. Because you need sharks really that have triangular interlocking teeth. By the way, when we're talking about makos, this only applies to very large mako sharks and medium to large great whites. Because great whites and great whites, when they're juvenile great white up to like around the 10-foot range, has more conical backwards facing teeth, like a sand tiger, for example, or a blue shark, or any random shark, really. They are sharp, but they're more for holding fish than they are for slicing through flesh and bone. And then when they hit about the 10-foot mark, they get their adult teeth when they're starting to mainly prey on marine mammals. And with makos, the same thing happens, just makos need to be a lot older. Like most makos, even a lot of breeding makos, still don't have these serrated teeth. Only once they get really large, those makos that hunt dolphin, not mahi-mahi, the actual, like bottlenose dolphins, that kind of thing, and they hunt bluefin tuna and stuff like that. Those big makos, they also get serrated teeth, and makos actually have a higher bite force than even great whites. And then they can also cut you off. So giant mako sharks, medium to large great whites, decent sized tigers and bull sharks, and some of the 6 and 7 gills. They really are the main sharks that you have to worry about being bitten off. Most other sharks, as long as you're using metal leader, it's not going to be a big deal. Even 200-pound cable is unlikely. I mean, even on tigers, unlikely to bite through 200-pound cable, especially if you're using circle hooks. But it happens, and it'll happen a lot more on 200-pound than it's going to happen on 1,500-pound. But unless you're using chain, it's never impossible. You want it to be impossible for a shark to bite you off, you gotta use something like this. You need something like this. Okay, then there are lighter chains, but yes. Chain is mandatory if you want to make it impossible to get bitten off. But what do you think you're gonna hook up more often on? Something like this? Or where do I have the same hook? It doesn't have to be the same hook, but yeah. Or something like this. What you think will get you more bites? I wonder. I wonder. I don't wonder. Obviously, this is gonna get you more bites. So, yeah. But still, there is a German. The movie Jaws was based on sharks swimming into rivers here in New Jersey. I know the real story behind Jaws. And it's not entirely clear. It was either a juvenile great white or a large bull shark. But yeah. Yeah, this would be the alternative to the chain. And I will be making some chain leaders because there is a German company that makes some really high tensile strength chains that are significantly smaller than others. They're, I think, half the size of the chain I just showed you. So you could use like 3 feet of that chain followed by cable, for example. That would be actually a usable leader material. But I don't know. For most situations, it's just a bit overkill. Yes, Gemini. If he listens to rap music, then Shane. Yeah, exactly. If your shark is a rapper, then you're gonna use Shane. Oh crap! It's already 4:09. Let's give this hook a bit of polishing. Movie was a great white, but the story was a bull. I know. I hate the movie because of how much damage it did to sharks. Like billions of sharks got killed just because of the movie Jaws for no freaking reason. And with us people now getting, you know, now finally great whites are making a comeback, but they would have never were been as close to extinction as they got without the movie. To be fair, the author of the books that Jaws is of the book that Jaws was based on, he became a shark conservationist and he regretted ever writing the book. I don't know about Steven Spielberg if he have had any regrets though. I know they caught a juvenile great white that actually had something that could have been human remains in the stomach. And honestly, even in a river estuary, a young great white is just as likely as a bull shark that far north. So who knows? Oh yeah, that hook is getting dangerously sharp. Hmm? Yeah, saying that and see if anyone notices. Love it. What are you gonna say, Gemini? What I meant, bull shark. Sure. Gemini. I said that in these 3 fishing lives and nobody got it. Oh, high fishy. Yeah, that hook is now nasty sharp. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Anyway, Okay, nothing important. John Cena. Yeah, lost my cable that I can. Actually, I should still have some of the wire somewhere. Whatever. I mean, I can always use it as is. Even more overkill. Then again, everything about what we're doing is overkill. So, let's just go. No, that is unnecessary. We can go to 2.5. Or that would be oh, well. Would actually work better with lighter. Oh, got an idea. It's dangerous when I get ideas, by the way. Very dangerous. If I find 2 millimeter 19 strand cable, just did that. Making bricks even nastier. Not nastier. It'll be nice. It'll be better. But I don't have that much of that stuff left. It's a bit harder to find. If I can't find it, no big deal. I'm starting streaming offshore next month. Just starting. Nice, nice, nice. I mean, all right. I used it all out, obviously. I don't think I have any left, actually. Yeah, I can keep searching for a long time if there's nothing to, if there's nothing left to find. Oops. Anywho, honestly, 2 millimeter cable should probably be fine. All right. Or shark break. Mhm. Okay, this work doesn't work like I thought it would. That's a shame. Let's see if we can make it work. Yeah, we can. Okay, now we just need a swivel to finish this off. That one should be good enough, honestly. Okay. Let's maybe get a larger crimp on this one. Let's see if we might get all three. Medium bigger than this. Okay. Holy crap. Yep. Think me a mine the nail while it's still cold out. Okay, we'll trim this and everything, but yeah, this will be our bait clip manufactured. This just needs to get trimmed down. Okay, that'll hold. That ain't going nowhere. Now the trimming off all our tag ends. Actually, we need the other plug to have a bit more power. Mm-hmm. Nice. I mean, honestly, you don't even need shrink cube on this one. Might still do a little, but yeah, doesn't really need it. Beautiful. No, I. Is there a market for shark meat? There is, but it's a bigger market for shark fins, so of course I don't support that. But like especially Mako, the thing is Atlantic Mako stocks they're not good. So I would and yeah the best selling sharks definitely would be Mako, and the Pacific Mako's stock is stable and healthy. So if you're in California and you catch a Mako, if you want to eat it, absolutely do it. If you're in the Atlantic, anywhere from, well, anywhere in the Atlantic, if you catch a Mako, if you think it has a decent chance at survival, please put it back. Please put it back because that stock isn't doing well. They've been over harvested multiple times and they haven't recovered. So yeah. Pacific Mako, be my guest. Atlantic, please don't. You could it's Atlantic, just eat a bull shark, a black tip, whatever. You know, there's plenty of other sharks that are decent for eating. So our bait clips have definitely downsized a lot. But yeah. I am from Croatia. Oh, I've spent I think eight weeks in 2021 in Croatia. Done quite a lot of fishing there. You have makos there too, yeah, but I wouldn't eat the Mediterranean mako either. It's yeah, any of the big sharks in the Mediterranean aren't doing well. So I'm from Germany, so I wouldn't harvest the mako go anywhere close to home either. Anywhere in Europe, I wouldn't harvest the mako shark. Okay. Okay, Rick. Hammerhead sharks has the highest mortality rate. Yes, they do. They do, John. That's the good thing about makos and great whites, for example, is they release very well. Although makos seem to have a tendency of getting deep hooked more than other sharks, even on circle hooks. I don't know if that's actually the case, but I've seen a pretty high fraction of at least short caught mako sharks being deep hooked on circle hooks. So yeah. Anyway, this tube will drink this on here with boiling water. Then we'll finish off a few more shark leaders. But yeah, in Croatia, I would probably put back any shark I catch, except maybe a bullhead. Spinners are great eating as well. Yes, they are, and although they're a bit more rare than black tips. There's black tips are a lot more common, and they're probably almost the same. So yeah, most sharks are good eating if you prepare them right. It just the problem is with commercial shark meat. Well, maybe if you try shark in a restaurant, it might not taste great. Sharks need to be dispatched and bled out, then gutted and ideally cored out immediately after you catch them. Dispatch them and get the guts out, ideally fins off and head off. Then put it on ice. Then shark is really good eating. But if you do it wrong, eh. So yeah. So we ate some sorts of sharks. What, Jenny? Nothing wrong with eating some shark meat. I mean, it's high in mercury, so, well, that's not ideal, but also, of course, it depends on the shark. Great whites are actually said to taste really good. But of course, they are internationally protected, as they should be. So you can't exactly eat them. Not legally, anyway. Maybe the great whites that get removed in Australia and stuff, because they're seen as particularly dangerous sharks. Maybe there's a way to eat those legally. I don't know. I don't support culling great whites in any case. I don't care if they attack the person. You're swimming in their territory. You know, if someone comes into your house and yeah, whatever. To me, it's the same as I'll not get into that. I don't think, by the way, people should just immediately kill home intruders either, but it can be warranted, and yeah. And I don't think a shark is to blame for an attack, ever really. Just crap that happens. It's not good for anyone. But yeah, I don't believe in trying to kill a shark after there's been an attack. Also, I'm pretty certain it doesn't do any good. I don't think it's gonna reduce attacks either. Tiger and sandbar sharks have a good success rate after release. Hammerhead and blacktip get epinephrine. Oh, blacktips too. Interesting. I guess you don't hear about blacktips nearly as much. But yeah, and will not move back that it causes liver and kidney damage. First day. To be fair, there are actually studies that hammers for survive more than people think too. Just yeah. So mortality rates are still significant. But it's not like every hammer getting caught. Just yeah. Like some people say that. But yeah, still. Directly fishing for hammerheads isn't the greatest idea. And Shami, why are you shaking your head? Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at this. Getting pretty damn good at making these. These improvised clips. Anyway, there are good fishermen who quickly release while in water, and some who pull it on shore, take turns. Yeah, obviously that shark isn't going to survive. Yeah, yeah, just yeah. You should be like from setting the hook to releasing the shark should be 25 minutes. Dealing with the shark 5 minutes on the beach is already too long, I would say. Either get the hook out quick, if you can, just cut the leader or cut the hook, and send her on her way. It ain't rocket science. Okay, we need a good swivel, but not an expensive swivel. And I don't really want certain for certain. I don't want to put a ball bearing swivel or a swivel without it. I do want to use a snap swivel because that's what most people will want. Personally, I would probably just do for my own fishing a regular swivel. Here we actually have another bait clip that is already finished. Let's give this a cowling and some shrink tube as well, though, and then you can attach it to one more rig. And if you release a fish, it always should be that the fish's health comes first, Not photos, not whatever you're trying to do. The fish comes first, period. Now, if you're going to keep the fish and you want to mess about a bit, still you should dispatch the fish first, but, not nearly as big of a deal. Okay, honestly, this swivel is going to be just fine. Okay, crimp. Why isn't this working like it did before? I guess I could just make it longer. But really? Okay, now it's working. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, whatever. We'll leave this land. Real fishy. I won't say the name of the biggest. He's also on TV. You mean for sharks or what? I'm glad on desert. Florida, everyone poses with fish. Carries them back and forth, all species, fresh and sold. Thanks for sharing a thing with us. Time to go. Okay, see ya, man. See ya. Hmm. I mean, for all I care, you can say names, but you don't have to, of course. Okay, that's not going any freaking where. It doesn't even need shrink cube. It really doesn't. Nah. This can stay as it is. Well, actually, yes. Let's do a little piece of shrink cube just to stiffen things up. Yes, Jeremy, we're making things stiff. Think what you will. My twin, ladies and gentlemen, am I seeing double stiff? Yes. Oh, did Gem? No, it's not. You're not seeing double, but yeah. Anyway, where's my lighter? There's one. Okay, that'll do. Because the fewer moving parts, the better, really. And it's basically time to end the live already. Jesus, I used 4 trims. Now I only need 2. This is a bait clip how I used to make them. This is what I do now. Okay, they look pretty similar actually, but yeah, this is definitely the neater and more and better version. Yeah, anyway. Don't want to wake the rockfish. Am I missing something? Who's the rockfish? Pretty sure I just woke up my whole building laughing. Laughing at what? Popper and scissorfish too. Paper. Who's scissoring, John? Anyway, but yeah, this is a neat clip, isn't it? Of course, this covered in shrink cube would look even nicer, but it doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. And I don't have that much shrink tube left, so for now they'll stay like this. Oh, boop, boop, boop. Anyway, so we can finish off 2 liters tomorrow. Oh yeah, this liter is already finished. So 2 liters are no, actually more than 2 liters. Never mind. At least 3 liters are completely done. Actually, 4 liters, I think, are completely done for her for sturgeon. So yeah, this is ready to get shipped. Important part. Okay, no, the hook line needs to be under tension. Yep, yep, yep. Nice one. Anyway, well, have a good one, everyone. I'll get ready for the gym and I'll do a live there. Don't worry, y'all. Don't worry. I thought I was the one in Germany down. Okay, okay. I pressed too low. Oh, jeez. I'm never gonna hear the end of that one, John. I brush my hair. Your hair is neither. Peace. Well, he's got a point. Anyway, Jamie, if you're still up an hour, yeah, I'll be live if from the gym. So have a good one, everyone, and peace out. Cheers, cheers.